Okay, let's talk about American Society of Magical Negroes. If you're going to create a project around criticizing a cultural phenomenon or stereotype, you need to understand every facet of that project. And Kobe LeBay, who wrote this movie, did not. And as a matter of fact, he didn't seem to think that the magical Negro trope was enough to support a movie on its own. So he brings in all of this other stuff. Why are we now talking about police brutality and police shooting black men? Why are we now talking about meritocracy in the workplace slash in society? Jason's basically like, well, I'm gonna make this presentation, but I'm not gonna call Lizzie into it because she didn't work hard enough to deserve it. Meanwhile, he really only got the presentation because the CEO wants to talk to a white man. So Aaron's trying to like push him into seeing that like, hey, it's not that you deserve it, it's that society is built in a way to give you this self-confidence and make you think that anything you achieve through merit and that there's no secret thing working in your favor. Okay, it's a good conversation. Not the right movie for this. And then during Aaron's big speech, he's talking about after 27 years of living, I now realize that I deserve to be alive. What does that have to do with the magical Negro trope? And then come to find out last night that Kobe LeBay also wanted to weave in the plight of biracial people. That is the least explored thing in the movie, by the way. And also, you will hear me refer to Lizzie as either white or white coded because that is exactly what she is in the movie. There is nothing in the movie, really, that codes this woman as other than white. There doesn't seem to be a complete understanding of what the magical Negro trope is. It's not just making white people comfortable. That's a societal conversation. It's also the black character is focused on stuff that only involves white people. And that is Aaron. You wrote a magical Negro. Because let's think about it. Other than the job, right, with the magical society, Aaron has no black friends. He doesn't know anybody black. His mother is white, which you would think would be something that they were going to explore to show us why he is the way he is and why he interacts with white people the way he does, having been raised by a white woman who I'm assuming kept him in a white environment. It's a throwaway. He gets this job. I see a black guy at work and he doesn't interact with him. He is chasing this white coated woman. His big speech is given to white people. He is imploring these white people to see him and to care or acknowledge his existence. That's what he's doing. Because let's think about it. There are three audiences during that big speech. The immediate primary audience is the three white people. It's Jason, that white boss lady, and the CEO. The secondary audience are the employees of the company because, it's a presentation about diversity and we already know this company is not diverse. So we have a bunch of non-black people, mostly non-black people, watching this hysterical Negro bear his heart out about how hard it is for him to be black in society. And in the tertiary audience are the black people who exist maybe in another realm. Who knows? They didn't tell us for real. He doesn't know they're there. He doesn't know they're watching. They are the furthest away from him. Because of the way the plot is structured, he effectively prioritizes himself over the safety of the magical society. And so he chooses himself, right? Very individualistic. He chooses himself, which means he's no longer part of the society. He says out of his own mouth at the end of the movie that he used to belong to a society. So he's never going to see David Alan Grier again. So he is anchorless in this world, no black people around him. And by the end of the movie, there's no black people around him. His temporary acquaintance with the black community, we'll say, is gone. And all he's got left is his white-coated goddess. And they are walking off into the sunset together. He is a magical Negro. And actually, the scene that cemented it for me is the scene in the back of the car where he just experienced amazing microaggression from Jason. And here we are in the car. And this is what I mean when I say Lizzie is white-coated. She's feeling bad because she doesn't think she did enough. She wasn't a strong enough ally in the situation. She should have done more. And Aaron is there assuring her, like, no, you did great. He's focused on her. He just experienced the aggression, but he's focused on her feelings. You did great. He tells her you don't have to pick every battle, or you don't have to engage. You don't have to fight every battle. The American society is a poorly designed concept. It's a poorly designed institution within the movie itself because they say they keep white people comfortable for the safety of the larger Black society, but there is no tangible benefit. Even they acknowledge in the movie that police brutality still happens to Black people, but there is a line where they say that Black people's lifespan has increased to that of a non-smoking white person or a white person who smokes, something like that. And because there's no foil in this movie, there is no Black person who is self-actualized in their Blackness, who's not catering to white people, who insists on being an individual and a main character in their own lives. Nobody challenges this mission of the society. The only tangible benefit to the American society are the people who are in it, because they flat out say that by being in the society, they are immune to police brutality. So much so that the Black girl who gets kicked out for standing up to her white client or telling him about himself almost has a panic attack when she is literally told she's now going to be a regular Black person. And in the end, when Aaron frees the slaves, when Aaron frees the society, it helps them to realize that they don't have to like cater to white people or pander to them. They still keep these relationships. We are showing them with their clients. They don't break these relationships off with their mental health. No, instead they set to teaching white people in some DEI consultant-esque way about reciprocity or something like that. So in this movie that is supposedly first and foremost about the magical Negro trope, which is a trope that harms Black people, Coppola Bay decides to insert biracial issues. He purposely casts two biracial people, one more biracial than the other, because he wants to explore the complexities of biraciality. So we have this type of inclusion. We also have an inclusion of women's problems, because we also hit on a little bit Lizzie's issues in the workplace, because like she works really, really hard, but then her hard work is not recognized because they give it to the white guy instead, which, how is this anything but a white woman's problem considering how she looks? But okay. And then at the end of the movie, we get the Society of Supportive Wives and Girlfriends. Hold on one second. What we don't get in this movie is any acknowledgement of magical Negro trope as played out between Black female characters and white female characters. But there is a choice made to acknowledge this white-coated woman's issues and generic women's issues with the Society of Supportive Wives and Girlfriends. So how long has she been part of the society? Is her attraction to Aaron genuine, or is he her client? More than that, again, you have to be aware of optics and social hierarchy, racial hierarchy, in order to have this conversation. Lizzie is a white presenting biracial woman. Societally, she is in a better position than Aaron. Are you telling me that she belongs to a society where she's gonna wax woe is me woman about having to support this Black man? Did you think this through? In the very movie that tells us that one of Aaron's problems and threat to his lives are the cops, and he's uncomfortable in his skin because of white people, something that doesn't affect Lizzie. You know what would have made the reveal of the Society of Supportive Wives and Girlfriends okay? If she was Black and you had this Black woman belong to a society that's about, it wouldn't be called swag, because Black women have a lot more put on them for the comfort of society, such as the Black best friend trope, the mammy trope, the magical Negro, the Jezebel. Even the angry Black woman is about the comfort of non-Black people, white people. Justice Smith and Anli Bogan have great chemistry. Now was it the time? Is it possible to explore a trope that's all about making white characters and by extension white people comfortable at the expense of Black characters and have an interracial relationship with a white or white-looking woman? Yes, it's possible. So much is possible in storytelling if you can execute it successfully. It is a shame that the title of this movie is so bold, but the plot is not.